everybody. I see you're in time for Help Me Cooking Lunch. Let's go.
It's 7:45 and in the morning, and I'm rinsing potatoes because I want to make gnocchi today. I'm still in my pajama.
So we start. I've already boiled the potatoes. They still have the skin on, so I'll show you what to do. We actually gonna rice them, and I'm gonna use a ricer, which is right here, and which should be right here. Okay, 1 moment. I found it. I found my potato ricer. So what I need now, it's the boiled potatoes, the potato ricer, and a bowl. So what I do, I just cut the potatoes enough. I don't care about peeling off the skin, because if you put them cut down, look, it just come out and the peel stays in the peeler. Super easy. Okay? I wanted to talk to you about the importance of the potato you should be using. What we use usually are white potatoes, the one with the white pulp inside. And the oldest one, because they're less wet, more starchy, and more dry. This will help you make it a perfect dough. Yellow potatoes, and especially the younger ones, are too full of water, and they just will not combine. It happened to me in a cooking class a while ago. I had to refund the money. It was horrible. I wanted to die. But anyway, aside from that, in case you are doubting if you're getting the right potatoes or not, I will give you this piece of advice that my wonderful Aunt Julia from Napoli, ciao zia Julia, gave me. She boils the potato. When she doesn't feel they're old enough, she boils the potato, rice them, and just sparse them, open the rice potato on a tray, on a large enough tray, and sprinkle a little bit of white flour on top of it. After she's done that, she just leave it there overnight. She doesn't even cover with a cloth, but I do. Not with plastic, and don't put it in the fridge, and just leave it outside on the counter. Unless you're like me, that you have dogs that loves anything that it's food and everything that is on the counter. Next morning, work it with the eggs and the flour regularly, and it just works like a charm. Okay, so this is the result of 1 kilogram of riced potatoes. The potatoes that I've used are white, and I just boiled them with water and salt. There's nothing much in there. So I just open it up. There's just slightly worn. I'm gonna add 300 grams, which is probably about 10 ounces of regular white flour, and a couple of tablespoons of spinach puree. This spinach are just simply, you can use whatever you want. I just had spinaches in hand because I cooked them the other day, but you can just boil them or let them steam, whatever, and puree them with an immersion blender. These were cooked with a little bit of garlic, olive oil, and a little bit of chili pepper. And then I puree them. I just squeezed all the water out, all the humidity out, and puree them. I have added an egg and a good pinch of salt. And with the help of a spatula, I will just work everything in. I'm using the gloves because, you know what, I usually just wash my hand, but these are difficult times, these are different times. And so I think it's just better. Anyway, you see, it seems like it's going everywhere and we will not reach anything, but actually we will. Oh, another hint. This time I've done it with spinach, but weeks ago I've done it with kale. So I've just cooked the kale, slightly boiled it for a few minutes, and then used an immersion blender. I've added a little bit of cheese. Oh, I've added a little bit of cheese at this spinach too, and just pull them together. Here, that's how you do it. This is a, you know, it's such a proven and well done recipe. It's all balanced. The measurements are perfect. It's 1 kilogram, so 2.2 pounds of, what's his name? Potato, 300 grams of flour, 1 egg, couple of tablespoons of spinach. That's it. It is important to work with a well-dusted area so nothing attaches to it, or it will attach just a little bit. Now we're ready to roll, cut, and actually form the gnocchi. So I'll just get a little bit of dough at a time, and yeah, this is more or less a little bigger than a thumb, and I'll just cut it in pieces. Now you can use them this way, but I like to use them to make them in a way that they will hold some sauce anyway. So what I do, get some flour on this little tool, then I'll get one and just slide it in here. See, it's easy, it's quick. This is my first tray of ravioli. They're really nice. I line them up because it's easy to keep them together and to preserve them when I need them. I'm gonna sparse just a little bit of semolina flour, which is more correctly called durum wheat flour, and I will freeze them. I will freeze them because this can last a long time in the freezer. I'm going to prepare another tray, and I'm going to do the same and finish the whole thing. So we start with a base of butter, and this is what we're going to need. Butter, different cheeses. This is a very fresh pecorino cheese that we bought. That we bought the other day. There is also some sweet provolone, very fresh gorgonzola, parmigiano, and cream. The cream we're gonna use is the cream. Is the cream that we're gonna use for we would use for to whip and for desserts. So here, there you go. And the chef today is Mario. Saluta.
Ciao.
So the goal here is to break the cheeses, to cut them and to let them melt very, very smoothly. Now the cheese we used are the one that we had some at home, and the one we can find here. The essential is that you use a kind of cheese that you can easily find and melt. Quale altro formaggio si può usare?
Fontina, formaggi di alpeggio, quindi
formaggi di montagna, is saying
tutti i
mountain
formaggi di
cheeses,
montagna.
all the Italian mountain cheeses, but I think any kind of cheese you can melt, Edamer, Edam, all this kind of stuff. So you slowly, the flame has to be medium
Asiago.
to low. Yeah, Asiago will be great. And all the cheeses have to be melted slowly. You see now he has lowered the flame, and at this point you just pour down the cream. So to make and to melt everything and to make actually a kind of fondue. So the water is boiling, and this is what I mean about boiling, and this is how much coarse salt I put in. You put the salt after the water boils. Water is boiling. I'm gonna let it pick up the boil. The only trick you have to pick up the boil faster is by keeping it close, but actually it's already at that point. So what we do, I'll put the gnocchi, not all at once. Yeah, I burn myself, but more or less up. You don't care if the flour gets in there because it will stand at the bottom. So this is a few minutes later. They're surfacing. I'm waiting for their all to be up there. Then what I do, I'll just grab them and put them in the pan that I will use, that has the condiment in, so I can use them and season them all at once. Done. I've plated everything. This is all I can eat. No, and I'll just add a little bit of Szechuan pepper. And I'll taste it for you live. Buonissimi and super light. Com'è, Franci?
Buono. Grazie.
Prego.
Ora puoi togliere la telecamera da me.
No fly.
Tipo la pubblicità della Mule.
Qui ti fanno risuscitare i morti, non so come si dice in inglese.